Hello everybody, Janet Urban here, founder of Friends in Film. Welcome to our podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to give you insights that you will not learn anywhere, not in film school, not online, not from anybody, even people on film sets will not know what I'm teaching you because we have studied how to go very fast into the film industry and create a career out of it. And that is what this podcast is about, and that is what the A-List program is about, which is our main flagship program that all these people all over the world are doing to work in the film industry. So enjoy today's podcast, and thank you so much for listening. Welcome, you guys. You guys are such smart, amazing artists that are blazing trails, getting inside the business and working. And it's not even very hard. That's the funnest, that's the coolest thing about this whole thing, that this is not even hard. It's just like, you've just got to do these certain things. That's what we're finding. It's just like, we got to be entrepreneurial, because they want to hire entrepreneurial people. So we want to prove that we're freelance, and that's why we do the similar to set jobs. We have to be thoughtful. So when you're on these sets, you want to connect with people and talk to them and ask them about themselves, form relationships. It can't be all about how good I am to work with or how hard I work or how well I know the craft. It can't be all that. I know that it's easy to be like, okay, I'm going to use my strength, my hard work, but the hard work without the relationship building and getting to know people, it won't sustain you. Not in this business. You have to, it's really much more about the relationships. And you still have to be very good. But yes, if you're like, oh, my people skills, or I'm afraid to connect with people, or I don't know how to connect with people, you have to overcome that. You have to learn those skills, because you will not do as well. And you won't know why. And it's really, people are not connecting. They're just not feeling like this awe factor with you. There needs to be this awe. And for many years, and I can relate to this so well, so I can speak so strongly on this topic. For many years, I was like, okay, I'm this tough girl that gets, but she decides to do. And I've traveled the world, and I've done all these things, and I'm, go-getter. So I make things happen. So then I go on set, and I'm like, kind of talking about my real estate, and I travel around the world. I do know that I was focused on my own significance, and you know that, because you know yourself. You know what's going on inside yourself, and you're like, I felt insecure, so I felt like I had to make up for it with being a strong girl and making sure that people knew who I was. And I know myself very well, so I can lead with that. But now getting to know people and listening to them and finding about their lives and navigating those conversations and all of that stuff, I'm not so comfortable with that. So it's much easier for me to just talk about myself. And if they like it, great. And if they want to talk about stuff I want, great. But then you don't form the relationships because it's all about you. And it's all about you, and you're scared. That's why it's all about you, which is the funny thing. At least it was for me. Everybody's different. Everybody's got their different things going on, but I know that I wasn't connecting like I could have been or should have been. And then it wasn't until I started going to Landmark and Tony Robbins and all these other things and going to do the personal development stuff, like is so important. It wasn't until then that I realized how I was thinking. And I remember the first thing I went to was a Landmark program, whatever, Landmark. Used to be called the Forum. It's like $400. A lot of us here have done it. A lot of our mentors have done it. It's really good because it allows you to look at your brain and see that, hey, it's not the way it is. You're creating the whole thing from your thinking. And this is my main premise as well. I mean, it is the basis of all personal development, self-help, whatever it is. So anyway, I'm there and I go, okay, they're like, so why are you here? I'm like, I'm here because I want to make people in the film industry hire me. And everybody goes, like, oh my God, like, that's just like ridiculous. And I'm just like, what? What's the fucking problem? What's your people's problems? Of course, why else should I be here? I didn't get it. I kind of like, wait a minute, maybe there's something wrong with that, trying to make people hire me. I'm like, hey, I got no time to waste. I just want them to hire me. I do good work. I know I'm obsessed with it. They should just hire me, And so then I started to kind of realize my thinking and where it was coming from. And guys, that's not fun. I remember when I finished that program, I'm like, I feel great now. I feel so happy. I have some insight into myself and I don't have to think about that shit again. I'm like, yay. But I felt bad. I felt it was painful because you just don't want to look at yourself. You just don't want to go there. You just want what you want without having to work on yourself. You just don't want to do it. I understand. It's much easier not to. But I know that all of the gifts, as soon as you're trying to you want to get something and then something's holding you back and then you blame, the other people or it's hard or it's not a good time or the situation, you're giving up your own power. So that's the beauty of personal development, is to look at, okay, it's always in my thinking. I always can shape and move anything that I want in this world. So I got to look at myself so that I can develop the power within myself to go do that thing. It's not like the power like that. It's more like it's almost like the finesse. It's like the understanding of yourself and how you're going to navigate it all, how you're going to develop the skills, because the results that we have today have come from our thinking. It's come from where you're at right now in your thinking. And it's like we go, well, how can I be thinking any differently or more beyond? I mean, I know there's more to learn as far as like skills and stuff, but how can I be causing the results I don't really want today? How can that be the case? Because all these other things have been against me and, where I live or whatever, my own stuff, my trauma, my blah, blah, blah. But it's true. And as you develop new thoughts, new thinking, new feelings, new actions that then give you even more new thoughts, you keep evolving to where you want to be. So our current ability is what we have today. We are able to create what we have today. Then when we look at what we want to create out there, we don't have the ability to create that yet, because if we did, we would have done that already. So that is our capacity. We have the capacity to create that. If you want to think of one thing that we need to focus on here in this program, is our confidence, our self-confidence. So we have confidence about certain things that we know that we can do. Like, I know I can set up audio equipment. I know how to do that. I know how to troubleshoot. You have things that you know how to do. So I'm confident about that. You want to know about that? I'll tell you all about that. So a lot of people have confidence, but what we don't know and what we haven't been taught yet is self-confidence. And self-confidence is a way that we think to ourselves when we think about ourselves. Self-confidence is how we think to ourselves. It's our awareness of our own thinking and what we are telling ourselves. So self-confidence is telling ourselves what we generate to tell ourselves, what we choose to tell ourselves. And then that produces a feeling of confidence, of self-confidence. So I can learn that. When we look at our current ability, we look at our capacity of what we can create, which is huge, but we haven't reached it anywhere. We haven't thought this way to be thinking about, oh, that's my capacity. I can make $1 million a year. I can make $5 million a year. I can learn the skills to pitch in front of 1,000 people, my project. My current ability, I don't have it, but I have the capacity to do that. Self-confidence that we are creating with our own thinking is very important, because we want to learn how to speak to ourselves, to generate thoughts, to increase our capacity. We also want to create thoughts that draw from and know that we have that capacity. So our confidence comes from our future ability. Like, oh yeah, I know that I'm going to be able to do that. I know I can make $1 million a year. I know I can make $100,000 a year. The thoughts that we create, we choose them and we generate them and we create them and we repeat them. We have confidence in our future because we're generating thoughts about our ability to create that thing in the future. I can do that. I can learn that. I can meet those people. I can make $100,000 a year in the film industry in Los Angeles. I can make $1 million a year in the film industry. I can find all the right people to be able to do that with. I'm so excited about my future. And it's not just once you say it to yourself. What matters is to yourself. What matters is how you and what you tell yourself, what you speak to yourself, what you think to yourself is really it. How you think to yourself when you think to yourself. But when people say things against your idea or that you interpret being against you, then that can make you feel bad. Why does that make you feel bad? Why does that make you feel disempowered? So no matter what they say, they can say words. That's all it is words. And the words are more about them than it is about you anyway. When somebody says something that's contrary, they can't make you feel bad. They can't discourage you. They can't dissuade you. They can't make you hate theater. Somebody said, this one person said, my teacher made me hate theater. And I corrected them and I said, if you believe that, then what do you got? You got no power. You reacted to this person's words to you and you made yourself hate theater. You told yourself a really bad story that prevented you from ever going back to theater. So tell yourself a different story, then you can go back to theater. How you think to yourself is all your power. I know that since I can choose my thoughts, I know I can get any result. It's like nothing is out of my reach because I can think it and then I can have it. I can create it just by that thought. Oh my God, that's amazing to me. I want a better relationship. I can think it and have it.
I'm in San Diego, and I've just started this program. It's my first call. I want to be a producer. Already just starting this program has given me power. Just saying that I'm in a course for the film industry has made me feel so much more confident, and I feel like a door is open, and I'm like super excited for the journey ahead.
It's like I'm in a course, I'm learning, I'm starting the beginning of something amazing. Just that thought is so powerful. Like you walk into a room and that thought is like beaming off of you and people are like, oh, who's she? Yes, I am future producer. I'm getting on these sets, I'm producing. The self-confidence, it's not arrogance. Self-confidence, the way that we think to ourselves is thinking thoughts that produce a feeling of confidence. So they could be thoughts like, I'm amazing, I'm capable, I'm good at this. And some people could say, well, that's being arrogant. But it's not. Because I'm amazing and you're amazing. I'm capable, you're capable. Arrogance is like, I'm amazing and I get my power from showing you how amazing I am, and you're not even close. You're not there. I'm above you. That's arrogance. I'm amazing and you're not. But when I'm amazing, and we're all amazing, okay, that is self-confidence, and that is very attractive because then, and we don't do it to attract other people to us, but it does, it's very attractive because when you're amazing, you're taking a leadership position, and when you're also saying that and thinking and believing that other people are amazing, then they feel that. That's how you are relating to them. Now it's easy when you're feeling good, maybe on this call, and then later something happens, and then it's like, okay, I'm amazing. That's the time where you practice it. You might be like, well, I'm just noticing that I'm not really feeling amazing right now. And that's the way that we see, that's the old way of thinking. Well, I'm just noticing that I'm not feeling so amazing right now, or it doesn't work right now. It's not working right now. Just noticing. So the difference is that you're choosing your thoughts. You're creating them, you're generating them. Like the power plant doesn't have energy, it generates it. You're generating your thinking.
Lately, what I've been trying to enact in myself is getting out of my comfort zone. this program's been teaching me to have a little bit more confidence in myself and not doubt myself so much as whether what I'm going to do is the right or wrong thing, I guess. And I guess that's what's kept me back from doing a lot of the things that I wanted to accomplish in my life.
Oh, is this the right thing? So it's like, I don't know if this is the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right. So when you think, I don't know if this is the right thing, how do you feel?
I just feel like held back. But I realize when I do the opposite of what I'm doubting myself, I'm like, well, why was I doubting myself? Why did I have this thought that was holding me back?
Okay, so answer that.
I think it's really just my own personal thoughts. Because when I tell people like, oh, well, I was doubting myself, they're like, you know what? We didn't think you had that thought.
Let's just try to find it right now. I know, you know that it's your thoughts. That's so you got it. But what's the thought? Like, what do you think it is? I mess up and something bad's going to happen. It could be something like that. What do you think it is? Why?
It's just my failure, my fear of letting people down.
Okay, I might let somebody down?
Yeah.
What thought makes you doubt yourself?
I'm scared things aren't going to turn out the way.
So when you think it might not work out the way I'm expecting it to, what do you feel?
A little bit of anxiety, right? Because it's like...
fear.
Yeah.
Okay. It might not work out the way I expect it to. And then from there, what do?
I either don't act and I just stay in my comfort zone, right? And just let the universe keep panning out the way it's been panning out these past 34 years that I've been around. Or do the opposite of what I'm fearing. I face it, move forward with it, and see different results.
Yeah. When you face it, you've jumped out of fear. You jumped into a different thought, like, I'm going to fucking make this happen. So from all of these actions comes the result. And then the result is coming from the actions, from procrastinating. What result happens from procrastinating, imagining it not working out, not taking action?
Pretty much just stay in the same spot.
Yeah. You paralyze yourself. Now we have the ability to now look for the thought, find the result that thought is going to create, and then decide if we want to keep thinking that thought. Okay. All right, everybody. See you guys soon. Thanks so much for listening. And if you want to take your career to the next level in the film industry, go to friendsinfilm.com/join. That's friendsinfilm.com/join. You can sign up for our mini course, learn about the A-list model, and then you can take it all the way and do the A-list program. So that's friendsinfilm.com/join. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day, everybody.